though?
Nope, I never got rid of it. Never had it. It never showed. It just shows a blank, folder kind of thing. Placeholder graphic. Used to have it a long, long time ago, and then it went away and it's never come back. And I can't find it. Like normally you can right click on a shortcut. You can pick an icon for it, but you can't do that for this for some reason.
I mean, do you have one for the actual executable?
It doesn't. I can't. It's not. It's pointing to the folder, not the executable. I think that's probably the problem.
Warning.
But I don't want to mess with it and
Warning.
break it, so I've just
Main
kind of
bay
left it alone.
doors opening.
It'd be nice to have a little
Hands and feet inside
Atlas
the vehicle
skull.
at all times.
I know what it's supposed to look like,
Opening shortly.
because when I look at an uninstall program, it shows the right icon. So the program exe file has it.
Well, is it in your
So
pins?
I should be able to point to it, right, and have it do it that way.
Is it in your pinned where it's missing?
Yeah. And there's no desktop shortcut for it, so it doesn't find it there either. Because I don't like tons of stuff on my desktop.
Steam run game ID. Weird.
Like if I go here and I go right click, I go up and find the tile, and I right click on the Mechwarrior, the MWO portal, right? I go to open file location. Then the MWO portal is a shortcut. And if I go to that shortcut and go to properties, it's going just into that folder, in the start in folder, but it doesn't point to the actual. Oh, maybe it's pointing to MWO portal as a it doesn't say. It's just got a fake tile. Hey, Stalker. I can put a shortcut key, a comment, run in normal window. I can click on advanced, and run in administrator is grayed out. Run in separate memory space is checked but grayed out. So I can't change any advanced stuff. If I go to details, it shows the program path. I mean,
is it Mechwarrior 5 tonight?
Nope,
No.
tomorrow night. The shortcut doesn't let me change anything. I can't change the icon. So I don't really know what the deal is.
Yeah, I don't know what the deal is either.
I just don't know the deal. That's what I'm trying to say.
I wish I knew the deal.
Me too. We could make a deal. Let's make a deal.
Why are we playing Mechwarrior 5 tonight?
Oh, because
Sunday.
there's a simple answer to that. It's because we're playing Mechwarrior online tonight. You're welcome. I'm here to solve
so
the great mysteries.
Cool. So are you free to chat now, or did you want to chat
Sure.
a bit later?
Am I in
Sure.
trouble again?
Yes.
This is just a quick talk, right?
Yeah.
Am I
Yeah.
am I dropping alone then while you guys go do that?
I don't think it'd be more than a couple of minutes. So,
So I'll just do a drop. That's fine.
Yeah.
Okay. Where did he go?
You can use my janitorial closet if you want. All right, stream's live. Here we go. Could you make a new shortcut yourself and change the icon? Maybe. I probably could do that. I wouldn't think you'd have to. I mean, that's the install program's job, right? Everything else was able to do it, but this is PGI, of course. Yeah, I probably could do that, Stalker. It's been 6 years that it's been this way, so I just haven't worried about it. Hey, Kodo. By the way, I didn't say hello, but I meant to.
Mm-hmm.
Deep down inside, I wanted to say hello, but I just couldn't bring myself to do it at first. Had to kind of work up to it. The real reason Elon Musk is suing Threads. What is the real reason?
The real reason is because, unlike Twitter, the whatever its name is censored, just like Facebook and
Threads, you mean?
Instagram threads. And the other reason is because it gives Zuckerberg the control over elections and the politics.
Well, he can't really sue over that, right?
No, but well,
I mean, he can't sue over what policies and code Zuckerberg uses on Facebook or Threads, unless they've appropriated intellectual property from Twitter, which would be a breach of contract. That's what he's claiming, but
more or less.
If he can prove that, he's got to prove that the people that were hired had the information or skill set to be able to help him clone Twitter's features, and that they were hired for that reason, and they were knowingly hired for that reason. I'm not sure. I read that from somebody that said that's what they need to prove. I don't know why they would have to knowingly, like, be told, well, we're hiring you to clone this. I would think their game best would be to just hire them and have them work on a project. And they could also, even if they weren't, like, sorry, I'm playing here too. Even if they denied that they were hired for that reason, because Zuckerberg said that nobody that was hired from Twitter is on the Threads development team, they could still have hired consultants as consultants or employees that are consulting the dev team without being on the team. And then when they have a meeting, they're in the meeting and they say, well, you could do it like this, and then still break that intellectual property right contract. Because they sign a non-compete with intellectual property. They can't leave the company and then share intellectual property. Well, I'm dead. Somebody was shooting me from behind. I don't know who shot me from behind, but they did, and I'm dead. Just thought you guys want to know, because you're going to miss me. They don't even care that I'm dead.
Target spotted.
New target.
So I don't know what it's going to take to put teeth in that kind of a lawsuit or not.
New target acquired.
Probably not a
Annihilator,
lot.
right torso, hotel.
They'd have to have somebody that could prove, or emails that could prove
New target acquired.
intent,
Annihilator, hotel, one touch.
or emails that could prove, or
Override
somebody that
engaged.
could rat out, yeah, that's what we're doing over here. And anybody who went
New target
from Twitter to
acquired.
work for Zuckerberg automatically probably hates Elon and wouldn't rat out Zuckerberg to help Elon, right? So that's not likely to happen.
Heat level critical.
Target spotted.
New target
I'm just
acquired.
wondering if they're going to have the cage fight. That's what I want to know.
Eliminated.
Heat level
Target
critical.
spotted. Target spotted.
Heat level
Target spotted.
critical. New target acquired.
Target spotted. Target spotted.
New target acquired. New target acquired.
Gotta aim for your feet, buddy.
Target spotted.
Looks like they're not missing me at all. We're doing really well.
Activated.
Look at these guys.
New target acquired.
Target spotted. The enemies are half depleted. Keep
Heat
pushing.
level critical. Override engaged.
Uh-oh.
Right
Target
torso
spotted, thanks.
critical damage. New target acquired. Fuel 25%.
Yeah, you're not getting
Right
to that well. That
leg
was a
critical
wasted shot.
damage.
Target spotted.
Right torso destroyed. Right arm destroyed.
Target
Center
spotted.
torso critical damage.
And just Loud Kitty was in the chat. Let's see what damage she did.
Almost got them all.
Underloading, howdy. I clone lots of things without being told to
New
when I'm
target
hired.
acquired.
Like 20
I'll watch out
sheep
for
so
body
far.
down there at Teleport.
You've been cloning sheep? Wow. I would think they would argue the idea of
Target
Twitter is
spotted.
too general to hold intellectual property over.
We're experiencing some losses.
Yeah, but I don't think that
Sloppy
he's
out
going
there.
after the idea of a Twitter-like platform. He's going after some of the algorithms that he thinks they have taken that allow them
Command to ground
to
forces. We're detecting no
control
more
censor
hostiles.
boost and otherwise
Good job, soldiers.
tweets. I don't know. I'm not too concerned about what either platform does, but well, 0 damage. That probably did not help my pilot skill rating, I'm guessing. I wasn't the only one though. Info B ammo was also taken out. No, he did 147. I'm wrong. Sorry. I'm totally not. I have 0 damage and 0
Mail to
knowledge.
online tonight. I'm just saying.
Did you find another volunteer for your thing? I just saw your thing.
I'm getting a few responses. I haven't. I've got to get back to people and have like pre-screen conversations to
Yeah.
decide.
I'd be happy to help you, but I don't know that you're really prepared yet to deal with my level of grief.
Sure.
Yeah. Even I'm not able
Well,
to
you
really
can
clearly
give
define it.
grievance instead.
Oh,
So it
grievances.
counts.
Grievances are better.
Grievances I could probably help with, yeah. That's a good idea, Corsair. Good take.
Okay, I'm creating a groupage.
You're creating a groupage? Oh boy, oh boy, oh
Yes,
boy. I just
I'm
got
inviting
0
Dark.
damage on that before I was killed.
I'm inviting the Kodo.
I'm going to come back and channel. So I've got to build a mech, and apparently, Dark, you owe someone a lot of mecha deaths.
No, that's actually not true that I'm aware of. What are
No,
you
Not
talking
me.
about?
That is true.
Not me.
It is true.
Who do I
You
owe?
still owe
me.
me like 7 or 8.
What?
From a
Who?
long time ago. You owe me 7 or 8.
Seriously? You keep bringing
Yeah.
that up, but
I know
don't
because I
remember
paid
it.
for them, but I
Is
just
this,
never
is this
forced
the
you.
result
How
of your
come-
grievance counseling?
Yes, it
How
is.
come?
Yeah,
He
how
brought
come-
that out, and I I need to air my grievances.
I see.
It became the main
Yeah.
main point of topic.
Thanks
by
a
the way.
lot, Drax.
How
Yeah.
come? How come? When I said you owed me X, Y, and Z, it was also Corsair keeping count. But now that it's Corsair you owe, you won't adhere to his count.
I think
No,
it's
he's done that-
obvious
he's done
that
them for a
Corsair
long time.
keeps count of things in a grievous manner. So I guess
Ooh,
I'd
could
be
be Janitor Grievous.
Janitor Grievous. Lord Cleanius. I suppose I could have Drax help do the counts on this. What do I have to run in? What do you want me in? Let's get my slate cleaned up.
I like holding on to them.
Oh, okay.
So
Great. So
Jay-
now I can't
Jay has
redeem
given
them.
me a topic. Jay has given me an Incubus, a build to run.
Oh,
So I'm going to try it.
There we go. Now you owe me one.
apparently there's a
We'll start over.
Steam antitrust lawsuit going on because their attempt to run a monopoly and not allow devs to sell their game anywhere at a lower price that it is at the time on Steam. That's basically just an open
It's a
email
contract they
situation.
enter into. So
Yeah, that's the thing. If they enter in a contract, that's kind of like that's their business.
What's going on?
Well, we've diverged a little bit to Steam, but we were talking about the Twitter lawsuit against Threads / Facebook Meta.
What's that about?
Well, there's a little bit of it's not all out in the open of what it's exactly about. What I've read made it sound like it was the accusation is that people were hired from Twitter who are under non-disclosure agreements, regardless of how they're fired or if they resign, that they can't bring Twitter intellectual property over to another company and just plug it in, right? So Musk is asserting that Threads hired people from Twitter just for the purpose of cloning some of the intellectual property that Twitter has.
But
and
they're
so he's going.
they're phishing.
Yeah, I don't know if they're phishing or if it's real, if they've got proof of it or what. So that's like, but he's not a dummy. So he, like when they had that person that was leaking stuff, they found them really quickly just by sending out a message to every employee with one slight change, 1 or 2 changes per message, a space between a period and the end of a sentence, or things like that, or a cap here, a cap there. And then when it was leaked, they knew exactly who leaked it, and they fired him, right? So it's not like he doesn't know the techniques of data surveillance and acquisition to find things. But if they're having personal email communication with Threads, Meta, whoever, then he wouldn't be privy to any of that. So I don't know if he's got any kind of proof or not. So I don't know. But it's about intellectual property rights.
Build at the moment. So
If when all the firing was going on and they didn't knock off somebody's access when they did all the firing, and somebody took a
copy
dump
of everything
of the
right.
program and anonymously sent it to them, and they're like, well, what is this? Well, we don't know. It came from this random email account. Let's take a look and see what this code is.
Right.
So
it would still be theft. It would be receiving stolen goods, wouldn't it?
Sure.
Kind
They
of.
still can't use it. They're not supposed to be able to use it. It's copyrighted.
But if they
But
change
they
it,
could definitely look at it and get ideas from
Yep,
it.
sure they could. Yeah.
and then he
so
could
it
what,
gets pretty
in
dicey
prison,
pretty quick.
charge everyone who's involved in this new what's the name? I mean, fancy Microsoft of all people being involved. It's a subsidiary of Microsoft, isn't it?
No.
No,
they
it's
funding it?
Facebook, it's a subsidiary. Threads is owned by Facebook, which is changed its
Facebook.
name to Meta.
Oh.
Instagram.
And Instagram is owned by them too, right?
Yeah.
So they're bundling it together with Instagram so that if you if you make an account, you won't be able to delete it without deleting your Instagram account, which makes it sticky in the sense of once they get users signed up and it's tied into their Instagram account, they won't ever want to delete their account because they'll lose all their Insta posts and photos and stuff, which is, I think, genius and evil at the same time.
Yeah.
Like that's one reason I wouldn't ever sign up for it right there. I don't want one platform controlling my content on another platform or sharing my content with another platform. Zuckerberg has proven not to give a rip about privacy of his users on Facebook, though.
Yeah.
Or to be opposed to trying to manipulate them. We're not getting a drop here. Okay, so under loading, it's basically just an open email. So that's down. I read that. Well, that would be the obvious move. Wait. Like if Twitter isn't allowed a unique platform and they can just copy it, then does anyone own anything in OP? Or is it just the ones that have court favors? Yeah, intellectual property copyrights should hold. But it's not like there's just one way to do a lot of things. So if they get the idea what they're doing, they could still engineer their own simile of doing it.
Doesn't China do this all the time, though?
Yeah, China does it all the time. They have no respect for international copyright law. My brother-in-law, with several companies that he's worked with, each of them has gone over there to try to do deals, and they've just gone away shaking their heads saying, we will never do business with China because they'll just steal
Threads?
everything they can.
Is Threads been set up in America or has it been set up in China?
Yeah. United States.
Yeah, it's part of the Meta
Fancy,
Facebook.
fancy someone like Facebook, which I'm sure would have dozens of lawyers, involving themselves in something like this.
Well,
If Jack Dorsey himself gave them the original kind of base Twitter code, and it was his,
but he doesn't own that anymore, right? That's part of Twitter, and Twitter was sold, so Jack Dorsey couldn't even do that.
depends on what his
On the contract.
exit
Yeah,
paperwork
yeah,
said.
Sure.
And he was the founder, so what was his paperwork?
Yeah.
He said he said he couldn't compete against them, but he had the original base for Twitter, and he said, "Well, this is mine. You have
Your iteration
have.
of it. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Which is a
and-
common
but this
thing in
is mine.
software. Yeah.
Online.
and I am going to give this to Zuck because he's my buddy." And
Right. But he didn't get hired by
Systems nominal.
Meta, right?
but he didn't have to.
All enemies, no
I mean, if he
No, but he's
if he,
not involved
for whatever
in this.
reason he doesn't like Elon Musk.
He could just do that, right? But
Yeah.
but he's not involved. No one's saying that he has been contracted or hired by Facebook
No,
to
no.
do this. Okay.
I was just saying maybe
Sure.
because
Actually, I'm not going to go this way. I'm going to be slightly smarter. Slightly, just slightly. Yeah, I worked with a software engineer, and he would often sell finished programs or programs that had everything underneath, but none of the user interface candy, the actual graphic look and feel. And then you could plug that in yourself, and you would have unlimited use of that code base for whatever you want to do. You couldn't sell it, and any updates to it, you'd have to buy. They didn't come with it. So, and you didn't own the source code. You were basically owned your use of the source code. So you couldn't sell it or modify it or anything like that. That's usually the licensing is similar to that.
Yeah.
And then they actually employed people to do searches of websites that used the code
Target spotted.
without a license, and then they would sue them for $20,000 or $30,000 or $50,000, and they made more money off of the people trying to pirate their code than they did people off buying their code.
Black Widow was a very fun tool.
I need people with getting
I used to love using Black Widow and scraping people's sites,
Oh, it's a
hunting for code.
What
yeah.
code were you looking for?
Stuff that Compaq had written that was on their websites.
to do the same thing to
Yep.
Don't stay
persecute
there,
them, prosecute
Dark.
them.
You're gonna surround us pretty soon.
Yeah, we had a whole team that used to do that. We used to scrape sites and check against our code. We had lots of servers to play with. We even got them brand new.
Right arm critical damage. Right torso critical damage.
Well, I'm dying pretty quickly tonight.
Yeah, it's going to happen. We're doing. See how we're doing a rotation into the corner?
I'm just standing here dying. I didn't get
Yeah,
to
everybody
rotate.
went into that
Got
corner.
one light mech in E3 or medium mech in E3, right behind us. Like behind you.
Copy it.
Oh, Kodo.
Target
It's Kodo.
acquired.
Antitrust should apply to this because they are a competitor. Like if Twitter isn't allowed a unique platform, and they can just copy it, and then
New
does
target
anyone own
acquired.
anything in the original property? Is that what you mean? Is it just like the ones record figures? So, well, that would be the obvious move. I don't know if it's phishing. It's obvious that there's something foul.
We're experiencing some losses. Don't
Target
get sloppy
acquired.
Yeah, that
out
would be
there.
corporate espionage, very serious crime. If you know the history of Facebook, this isn't the first time Android Lizard did this. Yeah, Facebook's not Zuckerberg doesn't really have
Acquired.
any ethics business-wise that I can tell
We've lost half our force.
towards
None
his
still
users
mech.
or towards competitors.
Heat level critical. Artillery strike activated.
Yep, people, you've heard the whimpering death.
Right
May you die, you cowards!
Cowards. Yeah, what I was wondering is when Elon took over Twitter, there were weeks when employees who were really ticked had all sorts of access that they should have been immediately locked
target
out of.
acquired.
Yeah, but he did such a random job of getting rid of people that there was no way to have everything locked down and everything.
Yeah.
The way he did that was stupid.
We took critical losses.
Well, some people just chose to left, didn't they? Didn't
A
he?
lot of people
Well-
chose to leave, yeah.
Yeah.
He fired a bunch and then a whole bunch left out of
Has
indignation.
Twitter lost people? Like, as in not,
They've lost
sorry, not
some.
staff, I mean,
Yeah, they've definitely lost some user base. They've lost mainly, though, they haven't lost much user base, 10, 20% or something like that.
lost
They've
bots,
lost,
haven't
so they've lost their advertisers. They lost 60% of their advertisers. Advertisers that are either upset at Musk or worried of the backlash of their customers if they appear to support anything Musk has anything to do with, because everything's gotten so political.
But what's the hate? I mean, I look. I'm not a fanboy of Musk like some of you are, because in terms of his being a technologist or whatever you want to call it, or a futurist. But in terms of, is it to do with his politics? Is there something wrong with his politics?
Yes,
that people
his
are
politics are evil. He's I guess, I don't know what, I mean, he's always been considered, he was a big hero of the left until he
he was doing
started
cars.
being kind of conservative, and he's kind of a moderate conservative, but he doesn't identify as conservative. His stances sometimes align with conservatism because of his business.
People get grouped
stances,
up in the weirdest way.
Yeah.
Like, you can be called
Yeah.
a Nazi and a commie in one day. You know, look at that.
Right. So I think
Jordan
he's kind
Peterson
of tied
got
up in
called
that
that.
kind of thing, right? So
Right.
he can't do right by them at all, no matter what he does now. And
Yeah.
I don't necessarily agree with I don't know the best way to lay off a company like Twitter when you've got massive amounts of people that literally don't go into work and sometimes don't really work. Like, he had people that really didn't do anything, lots of them. And
It's a lot of large corporations with
what
that
do you
kind
do
of
with
thing.
that,
They,
right?
and they
You gotta
even just
cut that
invent,
fat.
They invent work for themselves that's
Yeah.
nothing relevant to the core business.
And they had huge overheads that they didn't really need to spend. So, I mean, everybody said, "Oh, it'll grind to a halt in 2 weeks," because he got rid of 80% of his programmers. Well, 20% of his programmers have been doing fine. And it's been what, 6
He'd be
months?
saving money, wouldn't he?
He's got to. They were bleeding money. So they're on track to break even this year,
That's
even with
pretty good in the
even
first
with
year with all the change.
yeah, but they may not, depending on how much they get in advertising. So we'll see. We'll see what happens there.
They were on track.
Yeah,
to
so I don't know if
break
they
even.
still are, right?
Yeah,
But it may
because
be in a
this whole
sobering
threats-
moment. Do you think it may be a sobering moment? Like, is Twitter... I personally don't understand why businesses are involved with Twitter, because I don't
Advertise. They
understand
just
if they-
advertise that put their product in front of eyeballs. That's all it is.
I've never used it, so I don't quite get how it all works in terms of...
I don't think they allow
What you
criminal
see.
factions to have
like,
access
so
to Twitter. Do
you've
they?
got your
Of course not.
account, you're seeing people's tweets, or perusing however you peruse to see people's tweets, and there's ads that come up like YouTube, is it?
Well, kind of, yeah.
As of 3 hours ago, there were 99 million Threads users.
What's going on?
That's a lot. I couldn't even find it.
Guess they don't have a website. It's all app.
But they must have a desktop app, right?
I
Instagram
I
does.
don't know.
Facebook
Online.
does.
Sensors online. Weapons.
it could
Maybe
be
they don't.
strictly
Well,
mobile.
it's a
Yeah.
power move from the establishment. What do you mean?
Systems
Under-
nominal.
Yeah, right.
Command to ground troops, defend our
Abe's the, yeah, well, that's...
Underloading 80% of the work done. That's absolutely true in most cases.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's always true in a company, but it's true in most.
Poison
Certainly was
yeah.
true in churches. Certainly is true of volunteer organizations. It's certainly true of a lot of businesses. So I've seen that over and over and over again. And it's usually the busiest people that do that 80% of the work, and the least busy people are like, "Oh, I'm so busy, so stressed," and they're doing hardly anything. How is he conservative? I guess he's for less government interference in over regulation.
Strike
I mean,
online.
that's one. Free speech. He primarily bought Twitter because he was concerned about it being a platform where only one side really could say much. And that's an oversimplification, because if you were careful how you said things, you could say things, but you had to be really, really careful. You get your accounts ripped out.
True.
But it's just like YouTube. You know, one night, one comment by Gunfighter, and I got a warning, not because I said it, and even though I disagreed with him on the stream, YouTube gave me a warning and said if it happens again, it'll be a strike, and if I get 3 strikes, they'll take 4 years of my content and my channel down. Right?
Who would have thought your moderator, not me, your moderator,
You see,
would have caused
YouTube is
been the
under
cause for
Google.
trouble?
Well, Gunfighter's not a moderator on here.
Oh, was it Gunfighter? I thought you said Hellbringer. Sorry.
No, Gunfighter. Maybe I said Hellbringer.
Fighter.
No, it's Gunfighter.
No, because YouTube is being taken over by Google, and they put some really strange policy on the content creator. So sometimes when things went wrong, they will not be blamed. They'll push the blame onto the content creators,
Yeah.
which is really bad.
Yeah, it is bad. Because they don't take any, they say, well, it's not our fault because we're a
You might want to
platform.
rotate back.
And then they won't let you say, well, it's not my fault. I'm the platform streamer. And it was the person on the stream that said it, right? So they have a double standard even there.
And not to mention, the most ridiculous part is, if you are a content creator that using YouTube platform that outside of US, you have to pay the goddamn tax based on the US ratio.
Online.
Do you have to pay tax when you use foul language on my stream too? Because that could be
No, they have
that'd
to
be
pay
a
the
moneymaker
tax,
for
even though
me.
they are
Just
not
if I could
US
penalize
citizen.
everybody $1
Whatever he
every
said.
time they swear, that'd be perfect. Yeah, it's just kind of for him. I think a large part of it was he had the money. It was a platform that was they were shrinking anyway already, and he offered them a figure that he thought they wouldn't be able to refuse, and he was right.
Got me.
And then he wanted to relax the relax the censorship, and I think one of the things he's done that's good is he's added community comments. So like if somebody says something that you can prove is wrong, you can put it in there and say, no, this is not right because of this, right? Which is great. It's like a built-in fact check feature on people's comments.
This is just such a stupid game.
Hey, now, I love this game. Do you realize we're running in giant mechs? These are giant mechs. Is there a mech right here in front of me that's red? I don't get it. Oh, he's not red now. Ouch, everybody wants to shoot me all the time. What's with that?
They love you too much?
They love me too much.
They're Musk supporters.
So yeah, I mean, ever since Google bought over YouTube, they become more and more shady and unlawful. Asking foreigner companies to pay
I'm gonna need some help over
their
here,
own
guys.
tax.
There's no. I have a look at how many
where
people
is
are
it?
dead. Hilarious
I
stuff.
don't need any help anymore. I'm dead like everybody else. I didn't know half our team was dead.
I literally said you guys better rotate
Level
back,
critical.
and there was
Oh.
like
Machine
silence.
guns
I didn't hear
powered
that.
At 25%.
No, I understand.
Override
very
shutdown.
I
No.
thought I heard Hellbringer say I need
Right
some help over
torso,
here, and I just
critical
blanked it out.
Dark. It's been dark again, so don't
Stalker,
blame me.
tomorrow night I'll run giant mechs in Mechwarrior 5.
New target acquired. Heat level critical.
But you guys are playing me online now or playing
The
me
people who
Warrior 5?
oppose Twitter management gave the go-ahead to copy Twitter. The ones that were there before they got fired, you mean?
Center torso, critical damage. Left torso, critical damage.
Sorry, Jay, I'm not doing this build justice.
Right.
Loudest people telling everyone how much work they're doing and normally doing the least. Yeah, I think that's true. Less government regulation is a liberal position. That's news to me here.
I mean,
Yeah,
I would,
that's exactly not. That's a conservative position.
Yeah, and I'm okay with some government regulation.
It's
to
a
have
neoliberal
clean water
position,
and
which
to
is
have
in reality a
clean
conservative.
air. I think all the conservatives I know are okay with that. Maybe some of the conservatives fought against it that were in bed with businesses and big money that was pushing them to do that. But by and large, conservative voters are usually okay with that. If it's not a traumatic effect that you've got to figure out a better way to do it.
Can we weave in like lizard people into some conspiracy theory with all of this? Can we?
Well, there's been all these new revelations about UFOs being real and the military covering them up, and there's all these new.
Are they?
Definitely.
I'm pretty
I think in
doubtful.
1996 or 1998,
I'm pretty doubtful.
there's an actual case of Brazil. In Brazil, there's one UFO did crash landing, and then one of the dudes, when they were extracting it, to military base,
Well, I pivoted the conversation. That's for sure.
He came contact with the alien, dude. He died, man, because he was infected by some alien bacteria. They could not cure him, and he has slowly died in agony.
Hey, Kia,
in the most horrific way.
Yeah, but I want lizard people, not UFOs.
Yeah, do they have to have lizard people in them?
Well, you want to look for lizard people? Just go down underground, man. If you dug deep enough, you might see one.
I guess I don't know what a neoliberal is. Underloading. It's not a term I use normally.
I think that was a Crimson thing.
Underloading said you're confusing neoliberal with liberal.
There's no liberal here. There's only.
Well, Clinton was for more regulation. They added a whole bunch of regulation under Clinton. Extra. Read all about it. Extra regulations.
Hey, Dark, I'm going to give you the crown because you can do the county thing.
Do I have to do the county thing?
Yes.
Is someone syncing with us? Is Crimson syncing with us?
I'm not thinking.
I don't know who Adam Smith is. I wouldn't consider myself a political hub of information. I get enough of it that it makes me vomit, and then I have to back away for a while.
Ready up, fishy racks.
You just remain as captain in the space. That's good enough, Dark.
Okay, we're green. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, launch.
Oh, shoot.
I haven't read The Wealth of Nations.
Here's my problem with UFOs. They don't pay my bills. Like, if aliens landed and they were going to pay my bills, I'd care, but they're not paying my bills. So,
if you were writing about them, they could. You could sell lots of books.
But I'm not doing that.
You don't want to do anything. You want them to just pay your bills.
Yeah, just to pay my bills, yeah. Like, if they were to land...
That sounds like a lot of 20 and 25-year-olds
change the world
right
for the
now.
better that I live in, that would be
30-year-olds.
great.
I just want people to pay my bills.
Well, sure. I've never really grown up. I've never said I did.
I never said
I didn't sign no contract to say that I have to be my age.
Right. I agree. I'm going to back you 100%.
Yeah.
You'd think I became
Don't
a
put
youth
your
pastor,
expectations
so
on me, man.
They're not
They're
my
your
expectations,
man.
You think I became a youth pastor so I could grow up? Absolutely not.
It was your way of continuing to play what young games were back in your day when you were like, 8 years ago, wasn't it?
Yep, like Chubby Bunny.
I wouldn't be saying that, Doug.
You
I don't know what
put
that
marshmallows
is,
in your
but
mouth
that's
until you can't say Chubby Bunny anymore. And then you're the winner if you're the last one. And then if you inject ketchup inside of the marshmallows and put them in your mouth, then it's called Buddy Bunny. It's a gross game.
I could say something really bad.
We didn't do it
because I respect you and I respect your channel.
We didn't do it because it's gross and
yes,
kids choke and die doing it. So I said, nope, we're not doing that.
It's like you and the wall, Dark. You're there on the wall protecting everyone from silly games.
I'm the hero of the Inner Sphere. No, we did plenty of silly games. Like I did a lock-in overnight lock-in. You know, it's an overnighter basically, and everything was prison themed. And so I set up a bunch of. I set up a station where they'd get there, and they'd go into a check-in thing, and then they'd go into a dark room with a naked light bulb hanging over them, and right in front of them, and they'd sit in a chair, and it's a dark, narrow little hallway thing. And then we'd ask them all these questions, like, have you ever stolen cookies from the cookie jar? Have you ever taken your brother or sister's bicycle for a ride? Have you ever, whatever, have you ever hit one of your siblings? And then we'd trump those charges up and put them on a rap sheet that was a wanted poster that had their fingerprints. We'd fingerprint them, put a photo on there with the height things behind them and stuff. And then we'd give them a nickname, like a criminal nickname, like the club face, or usually wasn't about their looks or anything. It was something, right? We'd give some crazy name, the Hammer or something like that. And then we'd trump up their charges to Grand Theft Auto or assault and battery and stuff like that. So they'd have.
Was this the origins of that game?
No, this is just one of the youth group activities that I would do. So they'd get a T-shirt that said "Maximum Security North Eugene Faith Center Youth, only through Jesus" or something like that. So it's this cool shirt, but it was kind of prison themed again. And then I had the Eugene Police Department come, and we set up some flashing lights in the corners of the big room we were in, and they did a inspection of everybody, had everybody line up, and the police kind of walked by and inspected them and stuff, and then they helped kick off yard games. So we did these crazy yard games where, like, we'd throw a bunch of wadded up pieces of paper in piles, and they had to run down with a trash bag and a stick that was pointy, and they had to jab those paper things and put them into the trash bag, but they couldn't bend over and pick them up. And that was a relay. And then they had to get like a pile of rocks and move it from one end of the room to the other end, back and forth, each of them. So that was like, yard exercises and stuff. And so there's all these relay race things. And one of the things they had to do is tattoo each other's feet with their signature. So you had to get everybody to sign your foot with a ballpoint pen. And since everybody's usually really ticklish, that always goes well. So the whole thing was just, craziness for that kind of stuff. Then we watched a movie. What was the movie we watched? Oh, it was...
Target spotted.
It was some prison break movie, some kind of thing that was kind of a comedy or something like that, I think. And then I preached out of the New Testament where Paul's in prison and he's praying and there's all these prisoners around him, and as he's praying, there's an earthquake and the walls, all the jail cell walls break down, and the guards come and they're freaked out because if the prisoners escape, the guards will be put to death. Paul says, "No, don't worry about it. We're all here. It's all good. We'll stay here." But anyway, the whole thing was, and worship. We picked worship songs that were like "Break Through the Chains," and it was all themed all the way through. It was a great overnighter.
Mechs heavy in F5, guys.
Target spotted. Target spotted. Target spotted.
Boy, it's hard to see the yellow crosshairs on this snowy map.
Target spotted.
Warning, incoming missile.
Target spotted.
Warning, incoming missile.
Okay, I need to move.
Affirmative.
Warning, incoming missile.
Target
This thing is
spotted.
so darn slow.
Warning, incoming missile. Warning, incoming missile.
Where's the missile coming from?
Airstrike online. Warning,
It's gonna
incoming
chew me up.
missile.
Target spotted.
Wish they would keep logs.
Target spotted.
Get some logs. Please get some rocks.
Dang it.
Light pulsar critical deficit.
I mean, half the team is over in Echo 5. I said we push these guys over here.
I'm dead.
As soon as I show up, you're dead.
Yeah, it probably wasn't art. They were only hitting me with like one.
Anybody want to push G5 with me?
I would, but I'm dead already, Jim.
Target spotted. Thanks.
Oh, I can't keep. No one's getting locked.
Wealth of I should read that.
Jay gave me an LRM build because I got to practice LRMs, and I hate LRMs. But in particular, there's just
So they're
this is
neocons
just-
on the left. Okay. I just don't keep up. Politics.
Target acquired.
Rex, why do you hate RMs? Why do you hate it?
because they're just morons, and I'm also not very good at them, so it makes me worse than a moron.
Have you ever downloaded a car? I have not. But you can download a gun, so I'm sure you can download.
Target spotted.
I'll bet there's a download for a car.
Target spotted.
It'd be easy to make.
I mean, there's a truck simulator. I don't think having a car simulator is so hard to find.
God damn it.
No, I mean a real car, like a 3D printed gun. You could probably get most parts now. You could probably just. It'd probably be a simple one, but you could probably 3D print a car at this point.
Most of them.
I wonder if there is
Yeah,
a set for a
somebody
small.
did. I think.
I mean, you'd want
I
to
think
print
he-
out of titanium or aluminum for the engine, and maybe
try
put a
again,
sleeve
sorry.
of steel inside the cylinders and steel rings. But Put some ball
the
bearings in.
engine part you can't 3D print that, but you can
print
You
a
can-
large portion of it, though. I'll bet.
craft it. I would say this: you can craft it with the 360 Fusion, where it's a very high detail and sophisticated machine. You can actually do a 1v1 ratio engine, but the thing is, you still have to buy the metals and stuff to actually do it right, and you must have a very good understanding of the engine if you want to do it. Otherwise, it's gonna be a problem. Because right now, I think the 3D print technology is still not that solid enough, for doing engine printing. But anything else is possible.
Well, you can print
Because I think-
titanium, or you can print.
Yes,
print
yes,
copper. You can
but, I
print.
mean, you can print that. It's not a problem. But like for engine, like the combustion chamber, it must be the solid 3-inch thick in certain part. Otherwise, the engine is just gonna burst.
No, it's not that thick. No, it doesn't have to be that
That's
thick.
terrible.
There, you can
Absolutely
print.
terrible.
You can print an aluminum. There's lots of cars that use aluminum engine blocks with a steel sleeve that goes into the cylinder, and then you steel.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying the cylinder, the thing that push. I'm saying the cylinder chamber, the engine.
I'm talking
itself.
about the cylinder chamber. They put a steel sleeve around the outside of the inside of the cylinder chamber, and then they put a steel piston rings around the pistons, and so you lubricate that, and it wears very slowly. And they probably might need to print steel valves and your steel crankcase, but you can print steel. You can print titanium. You can print aluminum alloys. You can print copper alloys like bronze, which are very strong. And you need ball bearings, so you couldn't probably print those. They're not polished enough, smooth enough. Or you could buy
definitely polish
bushings. So
those.
you'd have to buy bushings or bearings for those different parts and put it together. That
Yeah, I know,
absolutely could be
but-
done.
I know someone did 3D print a Bugatti, but the engine they still get it from, I think.
Yeah, but I'm talking
was
about like a
donated-
hobbyist making their own car. Like here's a guy, what did he do? Did he use a regular engine in his? Here's a guy that it's the first 3D printed
he's a
car.
big truck.
Humble, albeit very cool looking thing. Built, printed in Detroit in a collaboration with Oak Ridge National Laboratory in Tennessee. It's a small electric 2-seater. The first of many models. So they didn't print the engine probably. But that's not out of the realm of doable. It's going to be. I'll bet they'll start 3D printing engines, even
It's
with the coil
doable.
windings at
That
some
I
point.
did not say it's doable, but I'm having a concern of how strong will the material be.
This is
You want
really
to do
ugly.
an engine.
This is really ugly, but it's cute. Well, it depends what you print it out of. Titanium's really strong. Bronze is really strong. Steel's really strong.
I know, but
So-
the last concern you want to have in your car is an engine that might burst when it's too hot or too cold.
But if you're making it out of the same
the
thing
problem.
that they make it in a factory out of, it's strong.
I'm not too sure because I'm not sure I'm getting the same industrial grade as I'm doing it. That's the
Well, I
concern.
think it's true that like if you cast an engine block, right, and then machine it, cast steel is more rigid than poured steel. But
I'm gonna tell you one news, but this one I'm not you guys, it's up to you guys want to disclose it or not. So, my country do make our own car, and I have no idea where they get their engine from, but we do manufacture our own engine. It's less than 2 decades. And last I know, I heard this one taxi driver who used to send me to work back in the old days. And he was on a vacation trip with his car, and they have been driving a long day, I think at least 6 hours. And right past a small pond of water, the water splash hit the engine split into pieces.
because of the cooling, it got brittle and cracked and then broke.
Yes,
Yeah.
on the spot, which
But
it shouldn't be happening.
That's a
at all.
mass-produced car that you guys make there, right?
Yes, and
So-
when he brought this up to the manufacturer, they tell him, "I'll pay you a certain amount of cash. I will give you this car for free. You can drive anywhere you want. We will completely restore your car for free of charge, but you mustn't tell anyone about this." And they scratched away the serial number of the engine.
Are you green?
So
Crimson?
yeah, I do not trust the thing.
Are you ready to drop? Are you green? What Corsair?
He's not in game.
Oh, I thought he was syncing with us. Okay, here we go.
Yay,
who's
we're
90?
dropping. I mean, no, we're dropping. Gosh darn.
This is ugly, but it's kind of cute. And it's just a team of people that built it, and it's 3D printed. It's low resolution. It's probably made from it's obviously a plastic sort of body. I don't know what the chassis is built from, and what parts are not printed.
The funniest car I ever seen is a Lego car. Now it's made of Legos
yeah.
that resemble Bugatti Chiron, and the best part, it does operate, but at a very slow speed.
Yeah, but experimental car, you could make an experimental car, and as long as it passes the basics of what a car has to have, tail
So is that a
lights, brake
3D
lights, things like
printed
that.
car, Doug?
That's an ugly 3D printed car as a exercise of learning how to make a 3D printed
But is
car.
that just the body, or has that got like the
It's got
engine
electric motors in it, but they bought the motors, so they didn't 3D print the motors. Looks like the wheel hubs are not necessarily printed. They look like they could be metal. So I don't know which parts are all. I think mainly the
I wonder how
chassis
light it would
and
be.
frame. It's probably really light.
I
It's all
would
plastic.
not 3D print my car's frame. I will not 3D print my tires. I will not do that. That's absurd. The engine thing, unless I have somebody who is an engineer level who understands well about engine, I will let him do the part. I will not touch
Can you
it.
3D print like a wife or a girlfriend?
You
they
just
did that,
buy
yeah?
those from Japan. Actually, they have
Oh my gosh!
robots that are female.
Well, isn't that nice?
Female replica-ish. I think I'm going to pass on that.
You know what? I'm more interested in, can we 3D print a beer in the future? We can make our actual beer in our own home.
So everything's made from four basic
To one senator,
components like
the way
carbon,
climate change is going, you'll have to make beer out of plant-based stuff.
and it's the arrangement of the molecules. So ultimately, they want to make printers that can print anything, even organic things. So you'd be able
Isn't
to
that nice?
3D print beer.
I think for now, the latest
Would it be
technology
chewy?
we will access to is only printing material
might
stuff,
be.
If
which
you
is
added
not organic.
gelatin molecules to it, yeah.
Underloading, yes, we know, dude. It's why it was funny. There was some post in channel where a senator was railing against Biden's climate change laws. And he was saying
I think he's a commentator. I think he's a right-wing commentator.
Oh, he's a right-wing commentator.
Was it
And he
Larry
said
Kudlow? Is that who it was?
What was the line?
Coda,
It was
what's
hilarious.
I'll find it. It's right up here.
Yeah, link it. in
Larry
channel.
Kudlow. I think he's a commentator on Fox News or something like that.
Okay.
Hi,
Okay, my
Jimmy
apologies.
Yeah, he's a host. So Larry Kudlow
a
rages
host.
that Biden's climate plan will force Americans to drink
Comment ça va?
plant-based beer.
Based
Muy
beer.
bien. Muy bien.
It's like, okay. we wouldn't want that. Now, wait, we have that.
What will the
J'ai
Germans
pris
think?
American salad.
This is too funny.
It's too funny.
The German will just mock them. That's all.
Rex, where are you going so fast? Running away.
What are we? Is this just skirmish? It's just skirmish.
Yep.
Here's a YouTube video of
Wait,
this.
you guys
of
are
this
playing
22
Mechwarrior online now?
see?
Playing Mechwarrior 5.
This looks cool. I don't know how much of this
Wait,
is
you
3D
guys are
printed.
playing Mechwarrior 5 or Mechwarrior online?
Someone's
I'm
gonna have to
confused.
watch this and tell me.
We are
because
playing
I'm
Mechwarrior Online, the game that I love to hate because of the way it is played.
Let's all die pitiful senseless death.
Leave me alone, Corsair. I'm
It's not
hiding.
because you've been forced into a light, Drax.
No,
So
I'm in a light.
first-
I'm in a light now. I was in a light before.
At
I was
first,
in
these
Tears
companies
before,
will
but
be
I was
printing
learning.
3D vehicles, but eventually it
Okay.
could trickle down to anybody who has a 3D metal printer and a 3D in a large format 3D resin printer. You could print a car. It'll get there, just
Yeah,
like
nice.
it's gotten there for guns.
I
My
do know
grandchildren will be
Elon
happy.
Musk 3D print his rockets, but because they have a very sophisticated 3D print machine, which allow him to do that, I don't think on the car part I would be safe to say we can 3D print everything yet.
Well, realize how much of your car is plastic already.
No, that I would not use a plastic to print 3D print.
But
my
why
car.
are we even?
Your car is
like, why are
injection
we
molded
arguing about this?
plastic
It's very
on a-
clear that,
on an
that
aluminum
as always, you
frame or a
you
carbon
start,
fiber frame.
Target
Or,
spotted.
why are we? Because it's a crazy conversation. This is why
It
people.
always starts with we can
Some-
do this, but we can't do that, and eventually it's like, oh, now we can do it. Yay!
Look,
And then some
My
corporation
country
claims
is-
patency, and then we can't do it at all.
it's hot enough. Okay, I don't think the plastic will
Well, sir,
last
you're in
very
trouble,
well.
dude. You're in trouble.
Doing a plastic car in my country, it will not age too well. Doc. I promise you.
Oh, you're not in
And
trouble. You're
second-
just hiding.
And the second thing is, if I ever to make a engine or 3D printer, the first thing I will do, I will stress test it until it's maximum. If that engine does not burst, yeah, I'll use it. If that thing holding burst, I will just stop.
How did he hit me CT when it actually went to the right? I guess it was only 1 point of damage.
Are you dancing in front of the bullets? Were you dancing?
In front of the
Yay.
Gauss rifle.
Enemy forces at 75%.
Oh,
We got 3 kills. We're
Good
doing
kill.
well. Where do you want to go, Corsair? I'm with you, buddy.
Target spotted.
That guy looks good.
Bravo.
That guy. Let's kill that guy. Which guy? That guy.
All right, let me get up in here.
Oh, he went back.
They've got 3 up top, which means we can probably push the bottom guys down. Guys, just remember that they are got 3 up top, so they're shooting down on you. So if you can line of sight those up top, you'll be doing well.
What is it with all these British people in here?
It's because we've come to recolonize you.
Target.
We want our T-tags back.
Good kill, guys. Who put all these trees in the way?
Target acquired. Left arm critical damage. Right
Still on
arm
Gulf?
Critical damage. Right leg critical damage. Right torso destroyed. Right arm
Why'd they shoot me?
destroyed.
I hope you guys kill them all. I was hoping people were coming in after me, but evidently they did not.
Target
Tip of the spear.
acquired.
Tip of the spear.
Artillery strike online.
The third British invasion.
you know, I think soon we need to change our Ghost Land name to Ghost Spear Lands, you know?
No, no. I like Ghostlands because it sounds
Ghost
covert
Land?
and spooky.
Yeah, Ghost Spear, it will be sounds nice and kind of fit That's
but I'm not a clanner either.
You're not clan.
I mean, it could be Ghost
are always the
barely
criminal
able to
spear.
pilot a mech.
New
That would
target
work.
Acquired. Artillery
I mean, Ghost
strike
spear, not
online.
beer. Spear. You
Oh,
always
Ghost
are the tip of the
spear.
New target.
Oh, because of the tip of the
acquired.
spear. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I talked about
New target
beef-based
acquired.
beer last night. Underloading's my underling.
New target acquired.
I mean, it kind of fits your persona.
Yeah, that was.
No
yeah.
wonder you died, Dark. You YOLO'd in there like there was no tomorrow.
I thought everybody was pushing through,
Warning.
and then
No.
they didn't.
Nope.
So suddenly
Yeah.
I was the guy.
Artillery
And then instead of
strike
taking advantage of that and killing the other
Warning.
team members, they
Missile.
just watched me die.
Looks like only half of the enemies remain.
Another day,
Missile.
another.
You underestimate other players that the sense of preservation, Dark.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bravo,
you're right.
Corsair. The kill.
At us. Stay
Always does.
Net armed critical.
Well, the good news is
Yeah,
I can't play much longer, so I can only die so many more times on the
Net
stream.
torso.
Oh,
I would think if people were really concerned about the environment, they would stop drinking beer altogether because it is plant-based and they're
you did well.
cutting,
You did
harvesting
well.
all those leaves,
All
all those
36.
hops,
Kill. How many?
which has got to hurt the
All
environment.
36.
5%.
Nice.
Level
Take
critical.
down any more of you.
I forgot I like this mech.
Which one are you in?
Target
Your
acquired.
My
Marauder?
Archer.
Oh, you're Archer.
Target destroyed.
My MRM Archer.
Avenge me, Drax. That evil Atlas that
Oh,
touched
Atlas.
me
I think the
inappropriately.
Atlas needs to die.
The hostiles
Just a
are
thought.
eradicated. Bask in the glory
Good work, guys.
I was
Thanks for
avenging you, dude. I was shooting him in the back quite a bit, but I lost that. I
Yeah,
didn't have any SRMs left.
Hey, thanks for
Sacre
the help.
bleu.
Okay, Stalker. Wait,
Of course, it.
what's the mech? You want
I
me in
said
an
thanks for the
Irby?
help.
Corsair,
help you?
you did a mech
Yeah.
of death.
Oh,
What
look
did you
at
want me
that.
in?
Oh,
Nothing.
Look at you. That's awesome.
I just want to save it for later so I can complain.
You want to stack them up?
1200. You did
Yeah,
really
now,
well, Corsair.
now we're up to 9.
I'll always
You
be in
beat your
trouble.
ping. You beat your ping,
There's
dude.
no
Oh, I
redemption
beat
for
my
me.
ping.
Yeah, I'm going to get into an
I've
Irby.
got 800 in my commander. I'm very happy with that. Very
You're
happy
gonna
with
get
that.
into an
Commanders are
Irby?
back.
Drax, are you going to get into an Irby?
No, I'm commander.
I'm going to get into an Irby because I have a mech of death.
Oh.
Uh-huh. This is where the rubber hits the road. Or where the
Oh, that's unfortunate.
the metal dome of the mech hits the rock.
Hello.
Beef saves the world. Cows eat grass. It grows on the land that isn't farmed.
That was
So it
good.
saves the world. Okay, we want a light urban mech.
A light
And
urban mech.
I don't know.
Oh, are you playing Irby?
Yep, 2 snub noses.
Oh, you have to
Or
play Irby.
4
I
lights.
can do an Irby.
I have to play Irby. We
Oh,
could
so
do an
Irby.
Irby Lance.
That is
It's
playing
gonna
an
be
Irby.
terrible.
Yep,
Gonna
gonna
be
do the Irby.
terrible. Let's do the Irby.
Oh,
This
Drax,
has 5
just
medium pulse
sit-
lasers. I'd probably like that.
just
K9
sit back
has
and
5
relax,
medium pulse
Drax.
lasers too.
Just grab your potato chips and then sit back and watch them perform, okay?
Ah,
What's your
playing
favorite
guys.
build, Drax, on the Irby?
2 snubs.
Yeah.
But there are laser boat builds which are great too.
Yeah, I've got
Look,
this
the Irby's
K9 that
tanky.
has-
The Irby's really tanky, especially if you play it correctly.
They
It's
still
very,
hit
very
me because I
tanky.
don't play it correctly.
Well, you've got to understand that your mech is 360. It's not 180.
I know, but I get confused if I go gung ho.
And if you've got jump jets, you want to get up high and be with other mechs as you're shooting into things.
You're gonna need a bit jumpy. So you're becoming a Humpty Jumpy.
Just I don't know about that.
underloading,
Just,
I think if you study the whole cow pie of information, it's not as cut and dried as they might make it sound. You're right. And the whole cow fart thing was wildly over reported too. Not that they don't fart.
Someone bought back in India. They were doing like how to bring back Gray's land. from a drought.
Yeah.
And they ended up walking their cattle, and it was a lot of cattle. They invited other farmers to do it too.
Over it.
Back and forth over their land, and it
Yeah.
did rejuvenate the grasses. I don't know
Because
why.
they pooped out a lot of grass seed.
Right.
And enriched the soil again.
And
Oh,
churned
there
it.
you go.
And
Okay.
trimmed it, yeah. Which makes it grow faster when you prune anything.
But aren't they also farting? That's
No, churned
putting in
it.
the wrong.
Oh,
The
they probably
hooves.
trimmed it too as I ate it.
I'm
Churned it,
talking
yeah.
about the dirt.
Yeah, I get you. I didn't hear you at first.
If you guys usually have like consume fruits like orange or papayas, when you have the skin, do not throw it away. Smash it, crush it, and then throw it inside the soil. It will fertilize the land. It will
There
enrich
you
the
go.
soil.
It's compost, isn't it? That's
Yeah,
just
we
compost.
compost it here.
Yep. I think somebody was doing a project collecting free orange skin from some company, and they will be pollinating in some lands, I think in Africa or some other place. And people don't believe them. They think they're just throwing waste. But
I
after
think
9
it was
years,
in Brazil. Wasn't it Brazil?
yeah. I forgot Brazil or somewhere. And after 9 years or 10 years, they went back. It was a huge forest already.
Yep.
It's crazy.
It went from like totally barren kind of spot to like forest.
A giant forest. It's not small.
A lot of BS coming from non-cows about the topic. That's a good quote. I don't know that eating grass releases more methane than just the grass decomposing. I don't see how it could. It's the same amount of calories in a plate of grass.
No, I think it's because there's a bacteria inside the
That's a
cow
funny.
blood.
Eating it might produce more, but there is a lot of. I have to say it, but not in the sense of the meaning.
You're talking
Like,
about
I'm real
cow manure.
real
Yeah.
bull coming from non-cows.
non-cows,
Well, that's
yeah.
hard to believe because I would only imagine that bull manure comes from bulls. But
That's what I would think, but I think the point they're making. Well, I don't think they're just blowing smoke. I think they're
No,
They're
they're not
blowing
just
methane.
releasing wind.
Online.
Right.
Nothing. Yeah.
But I've always said to err is human.
Online. Weapons online. All systems.
I'd have to mew this one over.
You're just going to graze by and eat anything that comes along.
You gotta let it go at its own pace.
Yeah.
The air
If you
is
guys
human,
can
but
stay
the fan
online
is
for another
divine.
1 hour, I'll
To
join
fan
you
is to
guys.
wine.
The fan is divine.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
can't get rid of that air.
All right.
I thought you were
If
gonna say
you've got jump
hopeless
jets, you can
divine.
jump over that, Dark.
I know. Are you going to jump over there?
I've done it already.
I can't jump when I hit the overhang, though. It doesn't work for some reason.
Tracks. Make sure to play the Superman sound when
25%.
Dark stuff
I didn't
like-
know you were going to buzz over there. You're way over there already. You should wait for me.
I'd much prefer to go to the mountain than the buildings.
So, okay, I have a funny story.
Oh yeah.
I love those.
Artillery.
I wish I had my
strike
Ghostland
online.
Storytime jingle to play. So, all my married life, I've known, because you can just kind of sense it, because she doesn't hide it. She thinks she does. That Jennifer's mom has not thought that I was the right choice for her daughter.
It does.
And that her daughter could have done better.
Mhm.
And I took her out to lunch a couple weeks ago, and somehow we got on the topic of Jennifer and I getting married or something like that, and I just mentioned that I married up, that I wasn't really good enough for her, and largely that's true, but the truth is she thinks that I was, and that that's not the way she feels at all, but I just think the world of her, right? So I just said that, I'm not really worthy of her. Well, she didn't say anything, but I know she feels that is true, not just the way that I feel, right?
Hmm.
And so tonight, after we were watching The Rookie and I was taking her to bed before we went out of the room, she said, I want to tell you something. And she said, the other day when we were at lunch and you said that I agree with you that, you know, you're, Jennifer, that you're not worthy of Jennifer. I said, I know you do. But she was trying to then say, but she said, I used to think that, but I don't anymore. And I wanted to say that I'm sorry.
Oh, that's lovely.
Isn't that nice? And she said, I hope that doesn't make you feel like, would you rather me not said anything? Like a little late for that, right? And I said, no, I'm really glad you said something.
That's a very touching thing to do, but can I just ask a qualifying question?
Yeah.
Given her condition.
Yeah, she's
Did
not,
she know
she's
it
not
was
all
you?
there. She didn't even know it was me. She probably thought it
Did
was
you
the
know-
ideal guy that she wished Jennifer had married. And she was like, I'm so glad that
no
she
disrespect,
finally
Doc,
found
but
you.
did
No,
she know?
I'm totally with you on this.
It's a huge sus.
Yeah.
Don't pick that corner, Dark. There's things on the bridge.
he's
Just
trying to
things on the
shoot me.
bridge. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, and then she said, and the sweet part was, after she went to the bathroom and I was walking her into her room to put her into bed, she said, so are you okay? Is it okay that I told you that? Or would you rather I not have? And I said, I'm glad you did, mainly for her. She doesn't admit that she's wrong about much of anything. And she often makes judgments about people that are totally off, but she's absolutely sure she's right. And you can't change her mind. It's just impossible. And so she'll get this first impression of somebody and she'll love them or she'll not like them forever.
Annihilator!
So,
I was going to say, you don't want to peek so much.
Yeah, I do, 'cause I'm shooting this guy in the leg. And so then she said, anyway, so I'm sorry again. And then she gave me a hug. That's the first time she has ever initiated hugging me. And so I'm thinking, well, it only took 40 years, but I finally, maybe I didn't win her over, but at least she is okay with.
Dark, we're going to get rotator on. Dark, move.
Yep, moving.
Move into the group. Get coverage in the group. They'll have bigger targets to shoot.
Yep. Somebody was peeking around here. I'm trying to retreat, going backwards. There he is. Come out again, buddy.
Right side, dude. Right side.
25% of the enemies are eliminated.
Oh, you'll do.
Artillery strike online.
This is a slugfest. Sorry, I missed it.
Target acquired.
India, blood asp, down low on the right. And the Marauder.
New target acquired.
There's the Annihilator.
Got a Mad Dog on our left. They're pushing our left flank.
Any more soldiers?
Oh, sorry about the friendly. Tried to hit the bad guy. Did I mention I'm not very good at this?
We're taking critical losses. We need you to pull through.
I'm not a very good shot.
Destroyed.
Ouch. Not used to this thing. I did 331. Not terrible. Yeah, she is good when she knows she's wrong about something. She is good about apologizing, which a lot of people aren't. But it's pretty rare.
That means she's self-aware.
Critical damage.
What's that?
Most likely she is self-aware. Her conscience is still there.
Yeah, she is. She's, today was a bet. She had a great day today because her doctor has a 1966 or 65 or something like that Lincoln Continental convertible in mint condition. It's all original. The only thing that's changed is the carpet's been replaced. And he and his wife came and picked her up. Nice sunny day. put her in the front seat. Jennifer got in the back seat, and his wife got in the back seat, and they drove over to get ice cream, and then they drove clear out in the country to Sweet Cheeks Winery and had some wine and cheese, and he spent 4.5 hours with her because she's his favorite patient, and he knows she doesn't have much time left, and so he just spent a whole afternoon with her. It was really sweet of him. And then she got back and took a 30-minute nap, and then we watched a movie. We watched the Boston Strangler movie. It's pretty good. It got me all choked up. Sorry.
What?
Couldn't resist. I didn't mean to take the wind out of you guys' sails if that wasn't as funny as you were hoping.
I don't have a good Irby build.
This build's good. I'm not great in it, but it's pretty good. So, and the good part is I recorded that. She started talking, and whenever she starts talking in a serious way, something's up. So I recorded it so Jennifer could hear it. Didn't know what she was going to say, but
make it your ringtone.
Yeah, right. I didn't get the end part on recording, so I'll have to tell Jennifer to trust me. But I got the most of it.
Oh, what a pity.
Yeah, I know. That's because she wanted me to tell her dumb jokes so she could go to the bathroom better.
Nice.
I'm glad the doctor is doing a sweet thing to her.
So that's just kind of shocking, though. It took 40 years to get her to think that I was an okay choice for her daughter. Kind of amazing.
Well, as a parent, that's
I know, but she just wants her kids to be happy. I said, Ethel, I know that's all that any mom wants is for their kids to be happy, and I've tried to make Jennifer happy all our marriage.
So about that, have you prepared and ready all your guns already?
My guns
Within
are
your
ready.
future son-in-law?
Yeah. I'm gonna get a whole collection and have them up on the wall by the time he gets here.
You should hunt a deer or moose if you have one in your area.
Well, he didn't score any points with me recently because he spent a lot of money on some blue cheese that you can only get there. It was like a half of a blue cheese wheel, and he put it in some dry ice and packed it up and paid for overnight shipping, which must have been $75. So he probably spent over $100, and it's to the Searle family. But I don't like blue cheese, so it's really for Jennifer and Jessica. It's not for me at all. So he basically, I've been dissed, really. It doesn't seem like an endearing tactical move.
You know what, Doug? You should invite him to Mechwarrior Online.
He doesn't have time. I've asked him if he would want to come play. He's either working or helping take care of his niece, who's like 4 or 6 or something like that, or he's FaceTiming or Zooming with Jessica. Pretty much that's his whole.
Or cheese shopping.
Or cheese shopping for them.
Uh-huh.
Okay, this is my last drop.
Sounds
I know, I should kill him in Mechwarrior Online. Except the trouble is, anybody who's young is going to do better than me at this game anyway.
Oh, don't worry, Doug. We'll do it on behalf of you.
Stalker, I don't know if you saw me on that match. I was running away while aiming backwards at the guy who was trying to shoot us from our back flank. I just don't normally like to do that because I'm fine as long as I know I'm doing that, but kind of pivoting while I'm in a move and stuff, I can get disoriented and then I get confused and I fall down. Yeah, he's not a doctor. The doctor took her for a ride in his car and spent the day with her. Jeremy is my daughter's boyfriend who lives in Virginia, and he's the one that sent the cheese. Sorry if that was confusing. Kind of switched topics. Yeah, when Drax told me to run, I actually turned around, looked for the guy, and then I started going back. Maybe I was going backwards and facing forwards and just going backwards. So maybe you're right. Maybe
Well, what you could have done is move.
I was walking
it's a hard one
backwards,
because it's a hard one to do when you're trying to walk into the group, your own group, because the idea is you would turn around shooting at the things rotating on you, and you're moving away from them. But when you're moving in like terrain that you don't know, because I don't suspect you know really all the terrain. And
well, I knew that terrain was pretty
into
clear.
your group. Well, you're walking into the group, so you could essentially be walking into your own mechs at some point. So
right. But I wasn't too worried about that because I knew the terrain was pretty clear and I needed to get over and around the corner. But it's easier for me to do it walking backwards than to walk forwards and rotate behind me and have the steering be reversed.
Well, you're playing with a joystick as well, which I mean, we all think it's pretty retarded, but you know.
Yeah, I know. I'm not the only one that does it, by the way.
People love doing it for the immersion. Like, I get it.
Yeah.
It's, you know. And to some degree, you can get away with it because you're playing it, you know.
I'm playing lighter mechs. I mean, heavier mechs, so normally it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm moving the joystick back and forth so much, it's like... If I was like trying to feather jump jets or something like that, I can do that pretty well on this because I can use my thumb button.
Our group, I don't think, really pushed anywhere, so I think that was ultimately they just got boxed in.
Sensors online. Weapons online.
I love the speedometer on this thing. It says slow and less slow instead of slow and fast.
So if you're in Urbies, I recommend going to the top, going to the front of the ramp, and jump jetting, so pop-tarting and shooting, and never pop-tart from the same place. And just, you know, pivot around that ramp area. And if you feel like you're getting overwhelmed, you've got no backup, sure, drop. But it's better to sort of stay up there and group control.
You went down.
Yeah, I was gonna try to jump over there, but I'm not used to how far it can jump or not. I'm gonna come back up, try it again.
Just from where you started, you should just jump up to the middle.
I don't think I can jump that high.
I have no jumpers.
Well, you can still
Artillery
edge the ridge, but it's a more dangerous thing to do because people are looking actively for that ramp if they're up there.
Fuel at 25%. Artillery strike online.
Target spotted.
I'm not very good at pop-tarting these things.
You don't overjump. That's the
I'm
main
trying
thing.
not to, but just even you got to aim and it's got to settle down for you to shoot, right? And it sometimes doesn't enough.
Target spotted.
Like I don't give myself enough of the non-shaky time to get the shot because I'm not that great of a shot. Oops, I don't want to go up.
Target spotted.
Fuel at 25%.
Target spotted.
You guys full?
I'm on my last drop, but we are full. But other people might stay.
And I'll be going to dinner after this.
Target spotted.
Sorry about that. We'd love to have you otherwise.
Target spotted.
Fuel at 25%.
So many blue lasers
Fuel
very
at
far away.
0%.
Oh yeah, it's dinner being served now.
Target
Artillery
spotted.
strike online.
Need assistance. Target spotted. Target spotted. Target spotted.
Artillery strike online.
Target spotted. Target spotted.
They're all the assaults are staying over there.
Yeah, I'm going for their back line if I can get over there.
Target spotted.
Looks like somebody else is too. Oh, it's Drax.
Target spotted.
Artillery strike
Drax.
online.
I've got him kind of looking at me, Drax, a little bit too, so. Oops, shot over him.
There's nothing on the ramps, guys. They're all back here, D3C5 high ground. Just come up, please, if you're on the ramps. Be careful, because they are looking.
I'm down.
I'm on my way.
Target spotted.
Is that UAV bumping pops?
That was great.
Ah,
Got the UAV.
crunched. I got dinner anyway. I gotta go.
Thanks for the drops.
Good night.
See you later.
Bye.
Just with that.
Have some plant-based beer if you can.
Oh, look, I'm more like that synthetic plastic stuff. You know, the ones that just sort of sit there in the
Oh yeah.
tourist shops and they don't actually,
Yeah, those
you
are
don't
great.
actually drink it. You just kind of look at it.
Right arm critical.
Tacky kitsch
damage.
kind of stuff. Oh, I gotta go. See ya.
Bye.
Wow.
Target spotted.
This is your last match, Dark? Oh, yeah, you're still staying.
Starts last, you said.
Right.
No, they smashed me against the wall there. I only did 90 damage. I was out of range, I think, all the time.
Dark, yeah, you have to do it again.
Nope, I gotta go to bed. Gotta. Is a black lantern a bird? I guess I didn't know that.
Yes, it is. It is a bird.
Well, we can use the plastic substitute rings that are made from rice, and they biodegrade when you spill beer on them. They started making beers out of the plastic rings instead.
My tribe. We
New
do
target
make a
acquired.
special rice wine. Made out of red dates and rice.
Rinds?
New target.
Yeah, made out
acquired.
of rice and red dates.
Oh, dates. Okay.
And then we let it ferment for at least 30 days in a
So it's like
dark
a
room.
rice wine kind of
And then
thing.
become a rice wine.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a rice wine.
Does
But
it
it's made for
taste?
cooking.
Does it taste good? Oh, it's
New
mainly for
target
flavoring.
Acquired.
We use
I
rice
would not
wine to
say
cook,
it's-
Asian food, but is it that kind of rice wine?
New target
It's
acquired.
You
a
don't
bit
drink
special
it,
because-
right?
You could drink it, Dark. It's not a problem because it's naturally fermented.
Target
It's not like
destroyed.
But does
you know,
it taste good, like something
New
you'd want to
target
drink? Is that
acquired.
what I guess I'm asking? Or is the wrong kind of flavor for wanting to drink it? Obviously, it tastes good. You
Listen.
wouldn't cook with it.
It has a red
Acquired.
dates. So cooking is great, but I'm not sure direct drinking is a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like if you bought the rice wine from the supermarket, those I do not recommend to drink. Those it's gonna hurt
Target
your liver
acquired.
very,
Yeah.
very
New
hard.
target acquired.
Yeah, but if you say you
Target
ferment it yourself,
destroyed.
those
Kill.
are gentle ones.
Target
Those are much
acquired.
gentle and it doesn't harm much on your liver.
Great work, you guys.
Heat level critical.
Yeah, but it
Target
tastes kind of
destroyed.
funky because
Thanks for the drop.
Is that blackjack?
let's just say like we didn't did it
engine.
in a very sophisticated way. So it's gonna smell funky and tastes also a bit funky, but when you mix it with the dish, it's pretty decent.
Yeah. I might have put myself back into tier 3 on that.
Oh, it's a good thing.
That'd be Stalker's
Welcome back.
fault.
Ay, caramba.
It was never his fault, he was an illusion.
He's the one that put me in the mech of death. I'm still in here, still in tier 2, gone down quite a bit. So I think I'm going to get out of this mech so I don't jump back in it by accident when I come back.
Still got that cough, huh?
Oh yeah, I'm on antibiotics and it's getting better, but I'm still coughing a little bit, especially at night.
There's
And
never
when I talk, it makes it worse.
an accident.
All right, everybody. I'm going to bed.
All right, good night,
See you
Corsair.
later.
Thanks.
Night.
All right, good night,
Hi.
guys. Good night. Take care.
All right, maybe I'll get
I'm
maybe I'll get into my timber.
gonna get my petrol first later. Now
Bye-bye.
safe to talk.
2 large pulses, medium and a clan ECM. So these look like they're identical, but they're not. This one has jump jets. I like this one. Yes, look at that monster. Okay. All right, everybody, thanks for the drops. Always a pleasure. Always an honor. Until next time, we'll see you tomorrow night for Mechwarrior 5. Everybody in the stream chat, thanks so much for hanging out. It's always good to have you guys. And I'm glad we solved all of Elon Musk's problems and all of the 3D printing of car difficulties and plant-based beer. I understand that we're all going to have to start drinking plant-based beer. I don't drink any at all, so I won't be able to help save the planet by drinking plant-based beer, but I'll leave that to your capable hands and mouths. Till next time, this has been Ghostlands, your favorite place to waste the most important moments of your life. And of course, I'm your host and guide, Dark Marauder. Bye. Bye, guys.
Ciao.
Yow.